Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Armageddon. We're going to finish things off with Bloomborough as we prepare for the new set Duskmorn House of Horror to be released on Arena on Tuesday. And we're going to wrap things up with a jump in. We'll see if we have time for another Premier draft, but if not, this will be a nice way to finish off Bloomborough. And jump in, you got 2 free jump in tokens if you played on Arena before rotation, because there's a renewal prize that gives you prizes on the Mastery track on Arena for free. You don't have to buy the Mastery Pass. Among them are jump-in tokens. So we're going to use our other free jump-in token, and we'll hope to open half packets from Bloomborough to maximize our odds of collecting new cards from the new set. And jump-in is nice. It's a great way to build your collection with low cost. It's only 1,000 gold or 200 gems to join normally. Now, the prize is also considerably lower. You get to keep the cards that you draft when you pick the 2 half decks, but the prize for 1 win is an uncommon individual card reward, although you can sometimes get rare or mythic rare as well, but it's usually uncommon. So low pressure, low stakes, but it's still a lot of fun. So we'll jump in, build our deck, play a few games, and see how we do. All right. So no Bloomborough packet here. Bittersweet, I'm assuming, is food synergy. Explorers might be fun. Celebration. That would work well with the rabbits packet that we got last time. I think I like the idea of going for food, and then maybe we'll get, if there is a green-black squirrels packet, we'll get that in the next selection of packets. So let's do that. And you can look at the packet deck lists on Arena and kind of go for what you think is the strongest, but we're just going to pick packets for fun and see how we do. All right, so sadly, no Bloomborough packet this time. Celebration could be good, since I'm assuming we're creating multiple permanents with food tokens from Bittersweet. And then the other 2 packets, there's Outlaws from Outlaws of Thunder Junction and Elusive from Murders at Karlov Manor. I feel like Bittersweet is going to work best with Celebration. So let's go with that. Alright, let's take a quick look at the deck. Alright, so top end, Hyphae Negotiator to bargain food tokens, and it's a big flyer. Scream Puff, great as a blocker, and also good as an attacker, since it creates a food token when you deal combat damage to a player. Now the problem with Scream Puff is that it creates multiple non-land permanents, but it doesn't do so until after combat, or at the end of combat, and usually for triggering Celebration, you want to do that at the start of combat in your first main phase. So for example, Godric has Celebration, and as long as 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, Godric becomes a dragon, a 4/4 dragon, and has fire breathing. So you want to be able to enable that first main so you can attack with Godric as a flying dragon. So maybe the food isn't going to work out quite so well. Monstrosity, Witch's Vanity, that could be a good way of enabling Celebration out of the Bittersweet packet. Gumdrop Poisoner, another good way. Sweet Tooth Witch, of course, is great for enabling Celebration since it creates a food token when it enters. Voracious Vermin, also good with Celebration because it creates a rat token. taken by Nightmares for removal. And then, of course, cards like Corvold and the Noble Thief and Edgewell Pact to enable Celebration, Red Cap Thief. We've got some good removal with Torch the Tower, the Witch's Vanity, Frantic Firebolt, taken by Nightmares. We have some card draw lands that we can sacrifice if we're flooding out. Skewer Slinger doesn't seem like a synergistic card in the Celebration packet, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Would have been nice to have had another synergy piece. But the packets are what they are. But we do have some powerful rares with Godric and Gumdrop Poisoner. Oh, and I forgot some more removal, Candy Grapple. So we've got a decent amount of removal. So I think that's pretty good. Removal is important in Jump In for the opponent's rares and other big threats. Alright, so here we go. Let's get into some gameplay. On the play, I think we'll take our free mulligan. I don't have black mana in my opening hand, and I have 3 black spells. Bespoke, Battle Garb, not really what you want to be doing on turn 2. You kind of want to be playing a threat or a blocker. Frantic Firebolt. I don't have any other instants or sorceries or adventures. I don't even think any of the other cards have adventures that I remember from looking at the deck lists. So Frantic Firebolt, not really a synergistic card in these packets. There's not a lot of instant sorceries that I remember. Oh, almost kept that. We're going to do the mulligan. Okay, this is better. 4 lands is a lot. And we don't have any play until turn 3. But being on the play mitigates that somewhat. And then I can play Belligerent of the Ball on 3, Voracious Vermin on 4, and Scream Puff on 5. And who knows, we might draw a 2-drop here. We draw a land. Well, at least we're going to make it to 5 for Scream Puff. Opponent on plains. No turn 1 play. Opponent red-white or Boros leads with Whisker Curl Scribe. So, being on the play definitely helps. It would have been a lot worse if we'd been on the draw and opponent led with a turn 2 Whisker Quill Scribe, because we wouldn't be able to have a blocker down for it. Now, that said, I'm not sure I'm going to block it if they attack, which they're not going to because they've tapped out for Cursed Courtier. Alright, so if I play Voracious Vermin, I trigger Celebration, and I can give the Belligerent of the Ball +1/+0 and Menace. Now, it still trades for opponent's 2 creatures, but I think that's fine. If they want to offer the trade. We're ahead on mana if they do, because they're giving up 5 mana worth of creatures to my 3. Belligerent has Menace, so they need to double block. Opponent takes it. Alright, well that worked out alright. And then I think it's Screen Puff on 5, Bespoke Battle Garb, equip on 6. Hopefully we draw something other than a land, preferably another cheap non-land permanent so we can enable Celebration again. Alright, opponent taps out for Knight of Doves. Alright, Edgewall Pack. So it would be more mana efficient to play Screen Puff. And the next turn, I could play Edgewall Pack and Bespoke Battle Garb. It's a little too bad because then I'd be playing 3 non-land permanents, so not getting the most out of Celebration. But on the other hand, then I can also equip the Bespoke Battle Garb, and that's more mana efficient, and I can't play Screen Puff and Bespoke Battle Garb next turn. Alright, so Belligerent can attack. They still have to double block if they want to trade. Alright, that's pretty good. Yeah, that was a good block for them, because I can only kill 1 creature. So maybe I shouldn't have attacked. I think I got rid of the knights. Because them creating tokens with it will be a problem. Alright, opponent hovering over Screen Puff. So they could have removal for it. Opponent didn't play 5th land, so they must be all spells. Taps out for Veteran Guard Mouse. High Fae Negotiator. Alright, so I think it's Bespoke Battle Garb, equip it to the Rat token. No, the Rat token still can't attack into Veteran Guard Mouse. Yeah. It looks like trading off the Belligerent of the Ball was a bad idea after all. Because if it were still in play and it triggered off Celebration, I could have made the Rat give it +0, +1, +0, and Menace. So then it would have been able to trade for Veteran Guard Mouse if they blocked it. Whereas now I have to equip something else with the Bespoke Battle Garb. And I guess it's Voracious Vermin. Now they can trade Whisker Quill Scribe for the Vermin, which not the best trade, but getting rid of opponent's creatures seems good. And they have to double block Screen Puff. Opponent chumps with the Guard Mouse. So I'm assuming they have some way of removing the Cursed Roll token on Cursed Courtier. Now the rats can attack in, depending on what opponent plays. Yeah, so if I kept belligerent of the ball and targeted one of my rat tokens, that would have been better, I think. Opponent plays Bramble Guard Captain. They still haven't hit a land. They don't attack. Alright, so if I equip Bespoke Battle Garb, I can't play High Fae Negotiator. I won't be able to trigger a celebration to equip the Battle Garb for free. I could also sacrifice the Autonomous Furnace to draw a card instead of playing Skewer Slinger. Alright, opponent... Edgewell pack his Menace, so opponent has to double block if they want to trade for it. Although double block's not that bad for them, since I can only kill one of their creatures. Opponent goes back up to 10. We make a food. And then Bespoke Battle Garb's ability specifically triggers at the beginning of combat. So even though I'll be getting a second non-land permanent with Skewer Slinger. Yeah, so that's why, for example, the food packet doesn't work as well with Celebration as I had initially thought it might. Opponent hits their 5th land, plays Dutiful Griffin. Now, Skewer Slinger can still attack in. Or I could hold it back on blocks, because it deals 1 damage when it is blocked or when it blocks, so it can trade for the Griffin. The rats can't attack in. So I think we hold Skewer Slinger back on blocks. Opponent takes 4, we make a food. And then we'll sacrifice a food to High Fae Negotiator to get opponent down to 3. And then hopefully we draw a cheap creature so we can play that and Monstrosity to trigger Bespoke Battle Garb. Alright, opponent attacks with the Griffin. I'm not sure if that means that they have a pump spell. We are at 25, so I think I can afford to take 4. like opponent does have something, and it's not the Dutiful Griffin's activated ability or Fair Basilica, as they didn't have the mana for either of those. So we drew a land. And then we'll have 2 mana left if we sacrifice Autonomous Furnace. But we might draw 2 drops, so I think we go for it. Candy Grapple. And then Skewer Slinger attacks here because it can trade for Reindeer if they block. And I've got Candy Grapple up to blow out opponent if they play Combat Trick, which they do. Oh, I wasn't sure which they'd picked with which, but we lucked out there. The Cursed Courtier, okay, so that's enough. We win. Alright, there we go. Turns out drawing the Candy Grapple, not what I was looking for. I was looking for a 2-drop creature to enable Celebration, but Candy Grapple did the job. On we go. Oh wait, before I forget, we get our individual card reward, so let's see what we get. It's an uncommon, Forgotten Monument from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Not sure, there's no Caves deck in Standard that I know of, at least not one that is a top tier deck. And then I don't think there are enough Caves, maybe for Standard Brawl, there are enough caves, but I don't think you could do a cave deck in Brawl. Alright, now we're going to go on and see how we do in the next game. On the draw, so I'm glad I've got some 2-drops. I don't have any plays after that until turn 5, and I don't have double black for High Fate Negotiator, but we are likely to draw more lands. Wouldn't mind some removal, but I think we can keep this. We've got lands and spells. And that's pretty much all you can ask for. And we do have some early plays. Depending on what 2-drop opponent plays, we might lead with, there's our 4th land, Monstrosity, if we think we can afford to be aggressive, or Skewer Slinger, or Monstrosity if it's going to be better able to trade with the opponent's creature. Opponent green-white leads with Miriam Herd Whisperer, so a mounts deck. So Skewer Slinger can block Miriam. And then I've got a turn 4 play with Edgewell Pack. Nothing that, no celebration cards that are enabled by it. Let's play Monstrosity so that if we can trade for Miriam. We have a food token to bargain for High Fate Negotiator. If that doesn't work out, we'll still have the rat token we can bargain. And we've got... Alright, so there is... Train Erranks. Now, unfortunately, I can't block that because they can give it first strike. They also get to scry. And then it gets a +1/+1 counter. So what I really need to do is draw removal. And then I think I play Grand Ball Guest so that I get the benefit of Celebration when I play Edgewall Pack on 4. And since I don't have good blocks, I might as well attack. One hits their 4th land. Oh. I play Wily Duke, which draws a card and gains them 1 life when it becomes tapped. So they can saddle it with the Erranks. If opponent attacked with Miriam, I would definitely trade with Grand Ball Guest. So no blocks. Alright, we draw land 5. So it's going to be hard to race opponent because they're gaining a life with Wily Duke every turn. And the trained Erranks is just getting bigger and bigger. If they attack with it, it'll already be able to attack past High Fate Negotiator and Scream Puff. An opponent also drawing extra cards by tapping Wily Duke. Alright, so this opponent has the same mono-white enchantments packet. And then they have the green-white mounts from Outlaws at Thunder Junction. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to trigger Celebration for Grand Ball. The opponent holds Erranks back. And they have the Break the Spell for the Cursed Roll token on Cursed Courtier. Alright, Candy Grapple. Opponent is tapped out. And I can't attack with Grand Ball Guest. But I can still attack with Edgewall Pack and Monstrosity. Although, opponent can double block Edgewall Pack such that I can only kill 1 creature. Although I guess they have to let me kill a important creature. And then, okay, opponent takes it. And then I think we'll bargain the rat token. Opponent down to 4, we're back up to 18. I would have much rather bargained a food, so I would have been I wouldn't have actually been unhappy if opponent had blocked Monstrosity with Slumbering Keep Guard, which they probably should have done since they don't have any enchantments to buff it up. Sterling Keykeeper is fine. Opponent down to 1 card in hand. Opponent settles Trained Arings with the Keykeeper. Taps out for the Keep Guard's ability, but they don't have any enchantments. Okay, so they attack with Cursed Courtier, which is interesting. So I'm assuming that they have a combat trick for 1 mana. So I don't think I want to block the Courtier with High Fae Negotiator. So that means we take 8, go down to 10, opponent goes up to 7. Godric, eh? So I could play Skewer Slinger and Godric. And then I think, unless opponent has a trick that gives reach, I think that's lethal. And we might as well attack in with everyone. I mean, Keep Guard should be the one blocking Monstrosity. And we trample over. Alright, so there we go. So Godric turned out to be the perfect draw at just the right time to enable a celebration, turn Godric into a flyer, and get her done. On we go. On the draw, I think I'll take advantage of the free mulligan. And if this were a normal draft, I might consider keeping it, since I just need 1 land to play Godric, and I have Skewer Slinger, and I'm on the draw, so I'm more likely to hit my land drop. But we don't lose anything by taking our free mulligan, and while this hand is fine, it's probably safer to try and have both colors of lands in our opening hand. Alright, so here we go. So we've got some removal and Candy Grapple. Nothing to enable a celebration for Belligerent of the Ball. But I think this is fine. I don't have anything to bargain for Candy Grapple either. but I don't think this is bad enough to go down to 6. So we'll try it. And we can get a tap land out of the way. Draw Frantic Firebolt. Opponent green-blue. So depending what opponent does, we'll either play Skewer Slinger or Candy Grapple. Opponent does not have a turn to play, so I think we play Skewer Slinger rather than hold up Candy Grapple. And then Voracious Vermin is great. I can play that on 4, even if I don't draw my 4th land, and enable Celebration on Belligerent of the Ball. Opponent has something they can do at instant speed. Could be a counter spell, but they let Skewer Slinger resolve. Nope, it must be something else. Opponent plays tap land. Alright. So Belligerent for the Ball doesn't have haste, so we'll attack with Skewer Slinger here. Opponent seems to have something they can do at instant speed. Would be a shame if Belligerent gets countered, but that's the best play. No, it is not. Okay, so that's what opponent was holding up at instant speed, was Lodestone Needle. So Belligerent to the Ball, not looking so good since it's stunned, so maybe we hold off on playing Voracious Vermin. If I draw a Swamp, I can play Monstrosity and hold up Candy Grapple. And opponent has Malamet Battleglyph to kill my Skewer Slinger. Alright, we draw a tap land. Frantic Firebolt can get up to X equals 3 if I play Candy Grapple, but Candy Grapple can give -5/-5 after I've played Voracious Vermin. So I think we'll play Frantic Firebolt here, and I think we could hold it up, but I think we play it now while opponent's mostly tapped out, and then that also means they can't discover off Dig Site Conservator. Poison Dart Frog. Well, Belligerent to the Ball. Definitely not looking so good here. I think we'll play Monstrosity, hold up Candy Grapple, and then is down to 1 card in hand. It's Council of Echoes. Alright. Untapped land lets me play Voracious Vermin and then bargain the rat token to kill Council of Echoes. So I hope to draw untapped land. It's Sweet Tooth Witch. Now, any of Sweet Tooth Witch, Voracious Vermin, or Red Cap Thief triggers Belligerent of the Ball, and I can give Monstrosity +1 power and menace. And then I think it's Red Cap Thief, make a treasure. So I can't bargain Candy Grapple because I'd have to sacrifice the treasure to cast it. Opponent just hits a land. Do they have an artifact in the graveyard? They do. Oh yes, Dig Site Conservator. So they can start exploring with the Guidestone Compass. Opponent hits Didact Echo. Now, they have 2 permanents in the graveyard. And the opponent holds up mana for Poison Dart Frog. So now I'm really opponent attacks. I don't mind that. And then Belligerent of the Ball, its ability is actually useful to me, so I think we take 6 here. Dross Pits. Sadly, that is a tap land, because it was untapped. I could play one of Sweet Tooth Witch or Voracious Vermin and still hold up Candy Grapple with the ability to bargain it. Although actually, I can still bargain sacrificing the treasure because I'll have a food or a rat. I might need the food for a reach, so we'll play Voracious Vermin. And then I know they're drawing Didact Echo, so we can hold up Candy Grapple at instant speed, and when they target, I'm assuming it'll be Council of Echoes with Guidestone Compass. We can bargain the rat, kill the Council of Echoes. So opponent can discover 4, they don't. And they don't have Descent 4 enabled, so it doesn't have flying. Poison Dart Frog can tap itself to gain Death Touch. Alright, we draw land. Okay. So Belligerent for the ball, 0 power. Opponent down to 10. I think we play Sweet Tooth Witch, target Red Cap Thief with the Belligerent's ability, and attack with Vermin, Red Cap Thief, and Monstrosity. And then they'd have to double block Thief to kill it, and it would kill both of their creatures. Alright, so opponent takes 9. So I guess we just activate Sweet Tooth Witch here. Alright. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the deck. So, the Bittersweet packet with the food synergy didn't pair as well with the Celebration packet as I had hoped, but it still worked out pretty well. Both Voracious Vermin and Sweet Tooth Witch triggered Celebration, so that was good. And then we had some decent aggressive creatures with Monstrosity, Randball Guest, Belligerent for the ball. Godric won us that game there, as Godric is wont to do. Godric was a staple of mono-red decks in Standard after Wilds of Eldraine came out, although he doesn't seem to be in many decks now, since they're playing mostly Pump Spells and Cacophony Scamp and Heartfire Hero. That's the strategy of mono-red right now for the most part. And then Candy Grapple was great in Wilds of Eldraine Limited, and it was good here. I think we managed to bargain it both times. We only needed, really, I think we only needed to no, we did bargain it both times, and it was great. Never drew Torch the Tower, never drew Embereth Veteran. High Fey Negotiator was good, and we managed to bargain it each time to drain the opponent, which helped us close out games. So, it turns out the deck worked pretty well together after all, even though when I was looking at it at first glance, I wasn't so sure that it would. But things worked out. We won all 3 games we played, so that was pretty nice. So that will do it for this jump-in video. Hope you enjoyed. If you thought I should have made any different plays or picked different packets, let me know in the comments. We can always do another jump-in once Duskmourn House of Horror comes out. Indeed, I think the midweek Magic event this week is Duskmourn Jump-In, so we'll be able to practice with some of the packets from that set, and we'll see what those are like. So thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye.